And we are live. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you for coming and for joining us for another Extraordinary Light Show episode. I have my friend and my co-host, Lily, with me today. Hi, Lily.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back for the second time. I have some fun questions for Alexandra.
Oh. First, before we start, I just want to say to everybody that Lily's TED Talk is out. I'm going to have a link in the description below. And you can just type Lily Ma TED Talk. And I watched it, Lily, and I was amazed. It was incredible. I was so goosebumps. I was like, oh my God. And I'm hoping that a lot of people will see it, will hear what you have to say, and they will actually start doing something with that information. So, Lily, good job.
Thank you so much. And on that topic, I think we spoke about this before we went live, is we always have this big goal. For me, doing a TEDx talk was something I would do a year from now, not right now. And then eventually, Evan Carmichael, who's my mentor, he says, no, you are actually going to do it now. I was like, what do you mean? I need to do research. I gotta come up with these statistics, and then I have to read all these books and then have original ideas. And he's like, no, you know a lot about your one word. You're an expert in it. You do workshops on it. You do coaching around it. Why don't you talk about that? And I had this limiting belief though inside of me. I thought, you know what? I feel like it's not my idea and I shouldn't be sharing it. It's his idea. And I wanted to give him the credit for it. And then he's like, no, he's like, I don't care. Like the point of this is for you to spread your message, and it's your take on it. It's not about me, and I don't care. It's fine. And I got his blessing. And then after me getting over my limiting belief, that thinking that I have to come up with the original idea, I was able to take my own spin on it, because I was able to use my own stories around it versus how Evan would do it. So for you guys out there, if you have a big goal, don't wait. Don't wait a year from now. Find a way to do it. And it came true within a few months. Like I just applied, and a couple months later, I got it. So you got to do it.
Yes, very inspiring. And I love that you said that you're so self-aware, like what was your thoughts, and that you are aware that you were making all these excuses why not to do it. And it's just very inspiring for me. And you actually inspire me and motivate me to think about it. Like, this is not something that I can do like in 10 years if I accomplish I don't know what. If you have an idea and you have a pure cause and vision for the world to be better, you should go out and say something about that. So yeah. Thank you, Lily.
Don't worry about 5-year plan. You don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. Lots of things could happen, right? In 5 years, maybe I would do 100 TED Talks. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you're gonna have your own conference, something like that.
Yeah, you just never know. So don't wait. That's the biggest message that I could tell people right now.
Yes, or maybe you're gonna be totally about something different, like in 5 years.
You never know. You never know. Maybe I'll be doing talks on an island somewhere. I don't know.
Yes,
anything is possible.
We have Danica joining us. Hi, Danica. She say hi, hugs to both of you. Hugs to you, Danica. Thank you for watching.
I have to put you on mute, Danica. Oh, hello. Hello, Danica. Purple hearts for us, Alexandra.
Yes.
Purple hearts.
I love how you pronounce my name, Lily.
You know how, okay, there's a funny story about that too. So I thank you for, like, I give you a shout out on my recent video. You know how hard it was? I'm like, Alexandra.
Yeah, you did
awesome. Really hard. Like, now I'm used to it. Alexandra, are you ready for first question?
I am ready. Let's do this.
Okay, so Alexandra, we have a question from Serena. Again with the clothing line. Lots of people want to do clothing lines. I would like to start my own clothing line. Right now, I draw my clothing on paper. This is something I wanted to do for years, but I gave up because I didn't know who to talk to about mentoring me. Can you please help me?
Serena, it's a name? Clothing, that's because you were in the fashion industry, Lily. That's why people asking you that. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know nothing about clothing lines. And I don't know how to create a successful multi-million dollars business. So I'm not gonna pretend here, you know what, you need to do this, and because I read about it and I listened about it, but I don't know from my personal experience. So I'm not gonna give you an advice on that, but I can tell you why you're not doing anything, and it's because of your mindset. I would recommend you book Mindset from Carol Dweck. When I read it, I was mind blown. Before I read this book, I thought that I am very open and I'm open for learning and for new experiences, and I have a growth mindset, right? But when I read the book, I said, no, I was so wrong. And I noticed that what she's talking about, there's two types of mindset, right? Like fixed and growth mindset. And I was in a fixed mindset, which is you are born smart, you are born talented, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like whoever is successful, that's because they are meant to be successful. They are born like that, and nothing can be learned. Like you have it or you don't have it. And growth mindset is no, everything can be learned, everything can be taught if you are willing to do the work. So for you, Serena, why you are not doing anything is because you're thinking that you need to be big. You need to start big and maybe a month or a year accomplish something that you see people doing like in 10 years. And that's your fixed mindset, because you don't want to tell yourself that it's okay not to know. It's okay to start small, step by step, and to learn and to make mistakes. Because the way you're just drawing your clothing lines and you're just envisioning everything, but you're not putting out there, it's because you're afraid of rejection. And if you're getting rejection, that's the only way you can learn. And because if you put something outside and nobody likes it, awesome. So it means it's not good. I'm gonna do something better. I'm gonna try more. So I would recommend you to read that book and start from your mind. Not like outside what you need to do, but start from the inside. What fears are holding you for doing small steps, like even just putting your drawing on the internet and asking people for feedback. So.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Even like when you started off, like, well, I know nothing about clothing business, but what I do know is about mindset. And that's true. And that could be true for any kind of business. Doesn't have to be a clothing line. It could be something completely different. If you also, another thing too, is if you feel like the only way you're going to be successful is if you have a mentor, that's also having a defeating mindset. It's a limiting belief. Like you could do it on your own. Now, once you get over that mindset, Serena, and then you're ready to grow and you're like, you know what, I know I could do it on my own. There are certain things that you can do to get a mentor in the clothing business. I started studying fashion at a really young age. So when I was in high school, I wanted to be in the fashion industry. And I had this big goal. I wanted to have my fashion wear, down like Toronto Fashion Week, which is like the biggest fashion week in Toronto. But I had to start small. I was 17 years old at the time, and I had this big dream. So I decided to do an internship with the closest designer to me, because I was so young, I wasn't able to go a lot of places. I mean, that's a limiting belief in itself, but I wanted to make sure that I was close to home because I had to be close to school and anything. So I found the closest designer, and that designer was a designer for hospital scrubs.
What is the name? Hospital scrubs?
Hospital scrubs. You know what nurses and doctors wear?
Yes.
That? It's not glamorous. It's totally not glamorous. And I interned under them.
That's amazing.
I don't care. No, I was like, I don't care. I don't care if you're not Oscar de la Renta. It's fine. I am going to learn under you. And what ended up being great was it was such a small business. It was basically her and two other partners. And they ran this tiny little shop and they did everything on their own. They made their own clothing, they designed everything. They even had a little store there. So I was able to learn everything from the beginning, how to create a design all the way to selling your product. And I learned way more doing that than I would have learned maybe if I went to a fashion house and all I did was like bring coffee to someone, or maybe I would have learned. But it's like me getting over the pride. And a lot of people are like, well, you want to be in fashion and you're in scrubs, like who cares about that? But I learned so much. So for Serena, you could look up your local designer, and designer doesn't have to be this huge thing. It could be someone that is more accessible, because a lot of the bigger mentors, it's harder for them, like it's harder to access them because they are very busy. Maybe you want to look at someone a little bit on the, like you want to have tiers. Maybe your big person is Oscar de la Renta. I don't know, I keep mentioning him. Oscar de la Renta. And then you look at who's underneath him that you could go in there underneath, and then you contact all of them. Doesn't mean you can't contact Oscar de la Renta, but you have to kind of work your way down if you can. So I learned a lot from that experience. Kind of brings back memories. It was really nice. I was 17 when I did that.
Wow, that's amazing story. I didn't know that, Lily. See, like you said about pride, I love that. Like, for example, for Serena, she doesn't want to do that, right? She would rather like ask and like ask you or anybody else, like, oh, who can mentor me, or like she's dreaming about big companies, but just start small and learn from everybody.
Yeah. And you're right. It's a lot of it is a fear of rejection. You're afraid that people are going to reject your art and your design. As an artist, it's really challenging for us because we're putting our creation out there and it's very vulnerable. Anyone could criticize us. And I think it's the same for us. Like for you to make these YouTube videos, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what kind of comments you're going to get. And to put yourself out there is a lot, and you have to kind of push through the fear of rejection.
Absolutely, yes. And even the fear of nobody noticing you, right? Like maybe she would make these clothing lines and nobody will pay attention. That can be a fear by itself. But like I said, when you have a growth mindset that you say, okay, this is awesome feedback, it means I need to change something. And then you go out and change it and do it in a better way.
Yeah. Have you found that? Like when you first started your YouTube channel, is that something that was
Absolutely. I still find it. And the thing that I know, like I'm sitting and I'm talking, right, about subject there is for that video, doesn't matter. And when I see the video, maybe 2 days afterwards, I said, oh, like I should do this better, right? And also I'm just here sitting and talking. And people who doesn't know me, when they just see one girl with an accent, that's my limited voice, my self-talk, with an accent talking about something, they were just like, oh, I'm not gonna sit here 10 minutes and watch her, right? But so that's my feedback. So what I need to do is I need to make it a little more interesting, like not just to me sitting talking, but you know, to go outside and film from different backgrounds and use the storytelling to point out the message in a different way, more interesting for people, so they kind of get the same emotion that I wanted them, like the same intakes, but from more creative way, right? So it's not like I know what I'm talking and I know I'm right, so I don't know why these people doesn't want to watch my YouTube videos. No, it's because I need to be better. So
yeah, that's really good. That's a really good mindset to have, because you could look at it from one side. It's like, oh, who cares what people think, right? You know, they don't know me. I know myself. That's the defense mechanism coming. And sometimes you have to treat certain comments that way, because sometimes the comments are just mean. Like it could be something like, I don't like your face. You're like, what does that have to do with what I'm doing? But if it's something constructive and they're like, well, you're very boring and not engaging, you're like, maybe I'm very boring and not engaging. Maybe I could do something about it. So a lot of times it could be constructive too. It's a really good mindset to have. I like it. I like it.
And before we continue, we have Evan. Evan says he's one of my beautiful souls. Yes, you are, Evan. And he said, since you're talking fashion, Evan has a fashion question for us.
Cool.
If both of you could make one T-shirt with a quote or saying on it, what would it be?
One quote.
Mm.
Okay, there's this one quote that I always think about that makes me really emotional, and it's a little bit controversial too. Is it's happiness. I got to say it. It makes me really emotional to think about it. Happiness only real when shared. I think that's how it goes.
I love that too.
And it comes from this movie called Into the Wild, which was based on a true story. And the guy's name is Christopher McCandless. And what he did was he went into the wild because he wanted to shut out society. He's like, I'm done with society. I don't care about material things. I don't care about all these things. I'm just going to go into the wild and live on my own. And he very intelligent guy. And he had this book with him to teach him how to survive in nature by himself. And he wrote that when he was about to die, because I just gave over the entire story. But anyway, because he wanted to come back to society, and he realized that he needed other people. He needed his family. He needed his sister. And every time I think about that, it's so true. A lot of us are on this big path, where I'm extraordinary. You're light in every room, but we do need each other. I need you to change the world. I needed Evan to mentor me and to give me the extra push to do my TEDx talk. Happiness is only real when shared.
Wow,
so that would be
I love it. I was just thinking, when you were saying what would be my quote, I would say, I'm not sure who said it, but I just have it in my mind. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it won't take you anywhere.
I like it. I like it. It's
yeah,
it's true. I'm trying it right now.
We are worrying, it gives our mind something to do, but then if you can change something about it, do it. If you cannot, then why are you worrying about it? Yeah. So that's kind of I'm reminding myself almost daily on every situation that is happening. I always said it to myself, can I do something about it or no? What is the thing? So that would be my t-shirt. Nice. And then I will have a picture of the rocking chair and everything. I
gotta have my quote, happiness is only real when shared, and there you have a bunch of people hugging each other. It'll be fun.
Oh, that's gonna be our next business, Lily.
Hugging each other.
Making inspiring t-shirts. Maybe Serena can help us do that, right?
It all works out. She could design our t-shirts and we could have the inspirational quotes. Oh, I love it. Look at Evan starting all of this fun conversation for us. Nice. Okay.
Oh, Amela is here. Hi, Amela.
Oh, hello, Amela. I was just talking to Alexandra about the conference that you guys had, and then she had the video broadcasted. So I was feeling very, very proud of her, Alexandra.
Oh, thank you. And Amela believes in me. So thank you, Amela.
Yes, and who else is here? Mr. Believe himself is here. Mr.
Yes.
Evan Carmichael.
Oh, Evan is our beautiful soul today. Not today, every day.
I should greet him like that every morning. Hello, beautiful soul.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Nice. I'm curious, where did you you say it a lot and it's beautiful, it's so authentic to you. Hello, beautiful soul. Where did you come up with that? When did you think it was something that you wanted to say?
It was just before my first video. I wanted to have something that I would start every video with, and they wouldn't be hello, I'm Alexandra. I wanted to be something that I really strongly believe in. And I believe that we are souls and that we are here to do something to change the world. And I believe that everybody are beautiful. And when you see somebody who is, you would say mean, right? It's because they had just too many things in their life and they didn't know how to handle it. And I always say no happy and fulfilled person will ever push you down, right? If you read any bad comments, it's never going to be from somebody who is happy with their life. It's always going to be from people who are sad and miserable and who think that if they say something bad about you, they're going to feel better. And then they maybe give them a little extra boost of energy and then it go down. So they keep doing that just to get this little glimpse of joy that they think is the joy. So, and that's kind of my mission, right? To convert people into being their true self, being beautiful souls, and helping each other. Let's say Amela, she is happy and successful, right? So she's here to help me and so many other people to also become that way. And no sad person would do that, right? So I want people to be more like that, to see that it's okay to be happy and help others, and that actually that brings you more joy. And there is plenty for everybody, right? It's not like I'm the transformational speaker and nobody else can do that. I'm the only one, I'm the best. No, we all need to work together to make this place a better place for everybody. Yes.
I
That was
know.
my little speech.
It's true. There's really there's no scarcity, right? Like that's why I got into TEDx. I'm like, no, if I tell people the secret, then all these people are going to apply, and then all of these people are going to get in. It's not about that. There's enough to go around. It's okay, right? We're all in competition with each other. We're not all against each other. We kind of help each other get better, but doesn't mean that it has to be one or the other. Like we could all win. Yeah.
Your only competition is you. Like you need to be better than yourself yesterday, and that's it. Yeah. Like this, what you're doing every Tuesday, you're having so many likes now. That's amazing, really. And you're helping all these people, right? You're not just, I know the secret and I know what this needs to be done and I'm just going to keep it for myself and grow, right? So.
No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Happiness is to be shared. That's for your t-shirt.
Yes, I'm gonna make a t-shirt about it. I'm still emotional about it. Okay, next one. Alexandra, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, this is a long one.
Okay.
This person needs your help. Alex.
Alex? Oh, my name.
Alex with an X. So, it says, I'm 45 and in 90 days, I'll be 46. Trying to regain my drive has been an uphill battle in a dead-end job. I'm a father. I'm upset with the way my life is. I feel like I could be so much better. It's pretty pathetic. If I could just get myself to have that insatiable drive and determination to win and change my life around, sometimes I feel like my life will pass me by. Please help.
Okay. Alex, my name. I want to share a story, my mom's story. My mom gave me permission to say it whenever it's going to be valuable to people, and this is the situation. So my mom, maybe 2 years ago, she was really depressed, and she was just, nothing was wrong, right? Like she has 3 daughters, and she has a job and a house, and everything was fine. But she was not happy with her life. Same like this gentleman, right, Alex? And one day I called her and she was crying. So I said, Mom, what's up? And she was sobbing, crying. And she said, I'm so unhappy. I said, what happened? She was like, nothing. I'm waking up. I have my coffee. I go to work. I come back from work. I eat lunch, I go take a nap, I wake up, I watch a TV, and then I'm so tired again, I go to sleep, and I'm waking up early, and every day is the same. So she was like, I don't know what to do, my life is just, is it gonna be like this for the rest of my life? And she just didn't see end, and she didn't see like what she can do about that. So I said, okay, Mom, stop crying, and let's talk about what you can do. I cannot do anything. She didn't want to even listen, right? So we even having this little fight. Like I was telling her, you can. Why are you watching television? Why don't you just go outside and take a walk? Like do something small. Like you don't need to have every day the same. But she didn't want to listen, right? She was totally like into the depression mode, and she was also having health problems because everything is related with stress. So she was drinking medicines about blood pressure, about this, about that. So she was really in a bad place. And I was like, it was almost every day I was keep telling her like, please start to meditate. Please start to write a gratitude journal. What are you grateful for? Please start doing small little things, right? Even stop looking at the TV and start walking. And no, nothing. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to stop telling her what to do, and I'm just going to be like that myself. And I focus on being light and being one happy and fulfilled person myself. And she saw that. So she was more open to hear what I had to say. And then finally I said, Mom, please start meditating and start reading, start writing what you're grateful for. Like start writing your journal. So she finally started. She was actually here in Florida when she started meditating with me. She went back home, and a few months after that, she just realized that she needs to do it every day. So now she's meditating every day, and she's writing a journal, what is she grateful for. And I will just say, like 1 year after that, she discovered, also before she started that, she discovered that she loved to paint. She never painted her whole life. And she discovered that that's something that was deep inside of her. But when she was growing up, there was like, oh, you're gonna be a painter, like you cannot make a living out of that, and you know, all these things that people tell us when we are a child, and we just forget about our dreams. So she started painting, and amazing paintings, right? Like I was like, wow, you painted that? Like we never know you can do that. So that was kind of her little like cure. She discovered her passion. She started meditating and writing her gratitudes. And 1 year after that, she is healthiest and happiest person I know. She was drinking every day 5 different types of medicines. Now she's not drinking, not even one. She's full of energy, and she's very grateful, happy. She's painting, but also she's still going on the same job she was 2 years ago. So you can change everything in your life, even if you're in the dead job, right? She's still waking up in the same time, go to work in the same place. But when she comes home, she's not laying down. She's not watching television. She's not complaining. She is saying, okay, how I can make this day amazing? What I can do? Okay, I will paint. Or maybe she doesn't feel like painting. Okay, I'm just gonna watch some inspirational videos, or watch a movie, or go for a walk. But every morning she writes down what is she grateful for, and during the day she keeps reminding herself of that. And when you have a gratitude, you cannot be sad or angry or into depression, right? But it can never happen one day and then tomorrow you are a different person. It took her a year to be now, and I just spoke to her today. And she said, like, I never been so happy, and I'm full of energy, and I know that my life is just beginning. So to hear your mom say that is amazing. So Alex, it's gonna be 46 years old. You're just starting. Your life is just starting. And another thing I would say, just look back. He said he's a father, so I don't know if it's one child or more, but you have a child or more, and look everything you did in your life, and just acknowledge that and say, wow, like I made this happen, and I can do more. And start small as waking up every morning and writing down 3 things you are grateful for, and then it's just your life is gonna change.
Yes, absolutely, Alex. It's a mindset. Going back to that again. If you keep telling yourself that you're pathetic, that you're in a dead-end job, that your life has gone by, that's how you're going to live for the rest of your life. And guess what? Pretty soon, your life will go by. You will be 80 somewhat years old, and you're still thinking the same thing. And like what Alexandra said, you still have half of your life left. There's so much more. Even if you have 1 day left in your life too, you could still make the most of it. And I think gratitude is so important. So I've been practicing gratitude for about a year and a half, 2 years now. We have a Facebook group where we share 3 things that we're grateful for every single day. And it's so nice. It's so nice to not only be grateful yourself, it's also nice to see what other people are grateful for too. So maybe for Alex, maybe he could get an accountability buddy, and then you could share the things that you're grateful for every single day. Like for you, your mom had you as an accountability buddy. Like, what are the things that you're grateful for? And immediately, every time you feel sad or you feel like things are just not going your way, and it's just the stories you tell yourselves over and over again, it's probably not that bad. It never is, really. And you flip the script and say, what am I grateful for? And then when you think about that, it could really change you. And the more you practice it, I'm a strong believer in gratitude practice. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've seen it change people drastically. Again, it's like going to the gym. It's building a muscle. The more you practice gratitude, the more grateful you are going to be. So that's a thing. Be grateful. And then, like, what happened to your mom? It just completely, she was grateful, and then now she's this artist. Like, where did that even come from? It wouldn't have come from, yeah. Exactly. And it wouldn't have come from a place of like negativity and all of that. Like, it's just, she loves what she's doing. That's so nice.
Yeah, and she said even like she knows that now she cannot make a living out of it, but she said, I know I will one day. And like she's 50 something, I don't want to say exactly, 50 something years old, and she has that kind of mindset, and she didn't have it. That's the most important part. She was totally different person just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So you can change your mindset. Read mindset book. And,
Carol Dweck.
Yeah, Carol Dweck. And another thing, like one thing that you can, how you can start your gratitude practice, 5-minute journal. That's I love the 5-minute journal. It takes you 5 minutes of your day. Order it, find it, Google it, 5-minute journal. It's gonna blow your mind.
5-minute journal. So yes. where can you get that?
I ordered it on Amazon, so you can get it anywhere. Yes. And it's every morning you're writing like 3 things you're grateful for, and then 3 things you're excited about, what's gonna happen today, and 1 affirmation for the day. And then before you go to sleep, you're writing 3 things that happen that makes you feel good, like something you're happy about it, and what can you do better tomorrow? So when you're starting and you're finishing your day like that, it's like we said, shift your mindset, and you see everything with a different perspective.
Oh, that is nice. That's a good shift in perspective. Like you mentioned Carol Dweck's mindset, and you said before that you thought you had a growth mindset, but you didn't really. Like, was it that book, or was it something else that happened?
It was the book. Yeah, I mean, after I read that book, I was able to share it openly. Like for the first question we had, I said, I don't know nothing about creating your multi-million dollar business, right? And
that's a limiting belief in itself, Alexandra. You do know.
No, I mean, I know from my personal experience. That's what I want to say. Yeah. I know, like in theory. So if I never read this book, I would say, you know how you can do it, and then I will give you all these steps. But they wouldn't be authentic because I don't have that behind me. Yeah. So when I'm talking, I love to talk about mindfulness, meditation, relationships, how to overcome difficulties, because I am very confident into that, speaking about it, because I've been there and I have that experience. So when I read this book and I realized that it's okay not to know, it's okay to say it, it's okay to learn, to talk about it, right? That's why we have this conversation, these questions, so we learn from each other. And it's okay, like I will say something today, and maybe in 5 months or a year, I will have totally different opinion, and then I will be okay with changing it and saying, you know what, it's not like I know something now and it can never be changed, this is how it is, I'm the smartest in the world, right? So
yeah,
it's not like that. I'm not
smart. No, you got it. I love Carol Dweck. I love growth mindset. I discovered her a while ago when I was in university, and it's so incredible. It's very empowering because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how not smart you are. You could always grow to become better. Even if you're very talented, there are people who are just born geniuses. They could still get better with time. Yes. So it doesn't matter. It's not for people who are just not good. Like, it's for everybody.
Or if they're born geniuses, but then they say, oh, I'm a genius, I don't have to do anything. And they just stay there. And they don't So order that book. That was the point of this whole show today, like mindset, and order that book from them.
I know. Carol Dweck, she needs to listen to this and give us some royalties for this. No, I love her stuff. She's incredible. All right, Alexandra, this is my question for you. What's your favorite hobby and why?
And why? Hobby. I don't have much hobbies like creating a journal. Journaling. I don't know how to say that word. Journaling. You
It
know what
makes
else?
sense.
It
You
doesn't
like
matter.
to
Like
write in your
clothing lines and
journal.
stuff, like drawing and stuff. What I love to do on my spare time, I love yoga.
Mm.
I love to read. I love to be at the beach. So anytime I can, I will wake up early when it's dark, and I will go and wait for a sunset at the beach and read over there. It just fills my soul, and like things like that. I don't have like the big. I don't know. I'm going. I don't know what even hobbies would be. Something fun and exciting. I'm not like that. But what I want to do, I want to learn salsa. I want to learn to
Oh,
dance.
well,
Yes, I
you know a salsa teacher.
yes. So I don't know how we can do this, Lily.
We could do it online. I could teach you salsa while I ask you questions.
That would be awesome.
That'll be so fun. Okay, well,
What is your hobbies, Lily?
my hobby? I have many hobbies. My favorite hobby is I love to hike. I love to spend time in nature, which is something I don't do often enough. I just don't prioritize it. I prioritize my business, I prioritize my speaking and all of that, but I don't prioritize hiking. I think that's something that I thought that I would never like. My husband was the one who introduced me to hiking. Before he came along, I was like, "There's no way I would never go hiking. What are you talking about?" And I wanted to make him happy, so I said, "You know what? I'll be open to it. I'll just go. I'll just go and I'll hike with you just once." And I just loved it. Like I felt like that's where I belonged. I belonged in nature, and I was like, everything was so intuitive for me. Like if you put me in the city, I'll get lost every single time. Like I get lost in buildings. I don't know where I'm going most of the time. I don't even drive. If I drove, I'll get lost. But in the woods, like for some reason, I was able to find my path. Like no matter where I went, it's just I was so in tune with it. And that's the thing for a lot of people. You know, when people offer you certain things, you're like, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And you're like, "No, I would never." But sometimes when you're open-minded, it really helps. And then for me, it worked out. And there are a lot of hobbies that I have done that didn't work out, which is on the other side as well. But yeah, staying open-minded about hobbies.
Yeah, I love hiking also, and I forgot to say about running. I love to run, and there was
That's
something
right.
I was the same like you for hiking. That was me for running. And same my
Yeah.
husband, he loves to run, and he was like, "Oh, let's go running," and I was like, "Oh no, I cannot run. I can run maybe 2 miles, right?" So he was like, "No, let's try, let's do. Oh, come on!" And so I said, "Okay, let's do it."
Mm.
And I ran for less than a mile, and I was dead. So we run less than a mile. So I was walking 1 mile, and tomorrow I run for a mile, and then it slowly started increasing. And this year, January, we run half a marathon, like 13.1 miles. And now we are.
Like 26 kilometers for Canadian people. That's far. That's really far. That's far.
Yeah, and I before that I never thought I can do it, right? But you just need to start, right? And be open for it. And now we are training for a marathon for 26 miles, 42 kilometers.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be wild. But
Wow.
all in mindset, I would say, like, and be open. So
How do you
that's
prepare for something like that? That seems like a really big goal. Like for people, like this is perfect example. For you, you couldn't even run 1 mile before. And then now you're preparing to run the entire marathon. Like how do you prepare for something like that? Like what kind of mindset do you need?
that's for everything, right? We can talk about marathon, but it's for everything in life. Like you have this goal to run a marathon, and you just need to break it down. So there is the different trainings, like 18 weeks training, right? 8 week training. How depends how much time you have, and you just have this plan, and you're going with it. So every day it's a different mileage, right? So you start slow. You start with 1 mile, and then a few days for a week, maybe you're running 1 or 2 or 3 miles, then you're increasing slowly, and then you come to the week when you're running one day 20 miles, right? And you're like, how I come here? And then when you finish it, you're like, wow, like how this happened. So that's for everything. Whatever goal you have, start, like, break it down and make it what today I can do to be closer to that goal and to grow, and then do this little thing, and then just like few months after that, you will see like, oh, look how far I come already. So small steps at a time.
That's so true. And it's creating the small steps. And it's for the people that ask the questions with Serena and Alex. Like, I think they're thinking of this big gigantic thing. It doesn't seem like they could accomplish it, but you could just make it small. Everything, just have like small little goals, and then you build from there. And then one day you're like, oh my gosh, like for Serena, she could have a fashion line. One day she's going to turn around, she's going to have this fashion line. And then for Alex, he's going to be living the life that he wants. But it takes work. It takes time. It takes work. It needs to start small, and then you build from there. I like it. It's all about mindset. I don't know how this conversation became about mindset. I like it.
Everything is about mindset.
I like it.
Yeah. And what is important is that it's never-ending process. So don't think that you're gonna come to one point and then, oh, this is the end. No, like you're gonna have this thing, like you're gonna work on yourself and work on these things that excites you and you're grateful for, and you're building a business or whatever it may be every single day for the rest of your life. So when you start there and you say, okay, this is something I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, I will be driven to look forward every single day. It's kind of different mindset. And when you start like that, and there is no end, that you can never reach the, oh, this is the top, I cannot like grow beyond that. When you start there with this mindset, and it's gonna be easier, I think. So you can start now, and every day just learn something and do something, and on the end of the day ask yourself what I did today to step forward one step. So
yeah, that's true. Is there something that you're working on right now? Well, obviously you have a growth mindset, but is there one thing in specific that you're like, oh, I really need to work on it? My videos.
Yes. So I have, and another thing, I have this vision that I had in my meditation about how I will start every video. Like, so example, I would do something, and then it would be like the music and something, right? Before me, like, how would you say that? Like, how you say that? Like when it's in the beginning of the video, Lily falling off the chair.
The intro you're talking about?
Yeah, intro. Yes, yeah, I couldn't find the word intro. Like for my intro. So I have this vision, like the feather that is writing like, lead with love, be light, do magic.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and it was like all happening in my head, but I cannot do that, right? So I'm learning how to actually do it, like in programs, right? So I can create it, and I could be like, you know what, like, can I be done? I don't know, but then I cannot pay anybody to do it. I need to do it myself, so I can learn, right? So that's my every day, every time I post a video, it bothers me that I still don't have that. And I have my logo also, but I still didn't have it in the little corner. And every time I was like, I need this logo over there. So we'll get there.
I know. It's like the pain and looking at your own videos. You post like daily content, so every day you're like, I don't have it.
So yeah, I'll have it. So every day I like trying to do something about it, to learn a little bit so I can create it, and then it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. You have such a positive attitude and such a great mindset. And we've been talking about mindset the whole time. Like, what do you do? Like, you're obviously not, maybe you are. What do you do for yourself when you are not in this extremely positive mindset? Are there certain things that you do to kind of take care of yourself? Or certain things you say to yourself? What do you do?
Of course, I have the moments when I'm not like, oh, everything is awesome, right? And it's okay. So what I say to myself, I talk to myself all the time, and I said, okay, how I feel now? So it's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling disappointed, or frustrated, and I said, it's okay. Now I'm feeling angry, let's say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will be angry. Like I would say, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I will be angry. And I will be okay with that. So even my husband, like we have a beautiful relationship and communication. So I would say like, I'm feeling angry, right? We will talk about it. Or I feel like diseased. And he would say, okay, I'll leave you alone. So he go into his room, and then not that long, like maybe 10 minutes, I would like what I do then, I will like think about things that I'm grateful for, or I will watch something funny. I will watch Ellen usually, or I will listen to some music, or I will start reading something or learning, like shifting my focus on learning and growing, even some Emma's video, and then very fast after that, like I'm good, and then I go, oh, okay, everything is good, back to normal. So
Yeah.
I don't stay there, right? Like everybody has this moment, but it's your how you decide it. It's your decision. Are you gonna stay there or you're gonna do something? But be okay. Like say, okay, I'm sad, so that's fine. I'm gonna be sad, maybe for a whole day. So say to yourself, today I'm sad, right? And that's it. Tomorrow I'm gonna be better, and then tomorrow I'm better.
Yeah. That's a biggest thing that I had to learn, because I was on the other side. I was very much like, everything is great, everything is awesome, and every time I feel sad, I'm like, I'm so grateful. And eventually, it came to a point that it blew up. It blew up in my face. Like I just had a really hard time. And when that happened, I acknowledged. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay that you're sitting in darkness right now. That's fine. And you got to give yourself a lot of compassion, give yourself a lot of empathy, and then know that's going to be okay. So I do something very similar to you. If I'm feeling something, I'm like, I'm feeling angry right now, couple of minutes, and then let it go, and then move on with your day. I think it's important to acknowledge what you're feeling too. Give it respect. It's your emotion, it's your feeling, and then let it go. But try not to stay there for too long, though. That's the advice that I have. Like, don't stay there, because it's easy. It's easy to get into the habit, and you're like that every single day, and then you never get out. So you have to get out of it too.
Yeah, but be honest about your feelings. Like, don't pretend like, oh, everything is awesome. No, if it's not awesome. And then, okay, what I can do, like, can I be like, what I can change, right? I can write down gratitude, or I can read something, or just like meditate a little bit for 5 minutes or 10, let it go, and change your day.
Yeah. Everyone could change their day. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Even like if you start the day wrong and you're like, you have 3 more hours before bed, like, and everything was going wrong, you say, okay, these 3 hours, I will do something for myself. And then go and do some 5 minutes exercise or something.
I love it. I love it. It's never too late to change your day. I love it.
There can be a t-shirt. There can be a t-shirt. It's never too late to change your day. I love it.
We have 3 quotes now. We have to make some t-shirts. We can wear our t-shirts.
Serena, you better be watching this and writing things down.
I know. It's never too late to change your day. But I like it. It's true. And I think that's a really good place for us to end this conversation and see who's in the chat. Let's see.
Danica said, I'll end up downloading the mindset book. Danica said, yes, do that. It's going to change your life. Yes,
it's a good book. I think that's Amela, right?
Yes, Amela.
With a long name. She says, very good movie. Yes, I think you're talking about Into the Wild. It's a beautiful movie. You should watch it. It's a sad movie, but it's true. You know, but there's a lot we could learn from it. And then Danica, she's going to download the book. Awesome, guys.
Awesome. And thank you, everybody.
Again, if there are any questions that the audience has, please let us know. We could answer it the next time around.
Yes. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Evan, for stopping by.
He's our beautiful soul.
Yes. So tomorrow when you see him, you just say, hello, beautiful soul.
I should. I will definitely say that to him.
Thank you, Lily, so much for your time. This was amazing. And I'm so looking forward for the next week.
Amazing. And remember, guys, it's never too late to change day.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.